Good morning, y'all. I am working on some odd jobs this morning, just really focusing on getting a couple things in the ground, moving a couple things that I've been thinking about moving because they're just in bad spots or because I need the space for something else, and doing a little bit of trimming. So, not much time left before my garden season gets started, so I'm just trying to button up as much as I can before I get into the full swing of things and I get inundated with planting new things and can't really catch up. So I'm starting with putting in two scavola. Scavola doesn't typically do very well for me in my garden. I've tried several different spots, maybe 6 or 7 times. I'm going to give it one last go this time and see if these two can survive here in front of the statue. I'm tossing a handful of plant tone in each hole and then throwing a little bit around the dirt that's going to backfill the plants once they're in. These plants have not been fertilized for like 3.5 months because we're under fertilization restrictions every summer. So I'm back at throwing in a little bit of plant tone to help feed my soil, which will in turn feed my plants. I picked up three ground cover mimosas when I went out to Fort Myers a couple weeks ago, and I'm finally putting these guys in the ground. One of them has almost died back, but it's a pretty hardy plant, so it's got some new growth coming in since I started to water it. I try to get as many of the weeds out as I possibly can before I plant something, but I definitely don't try to get all of them out. They're just going to come back anyway. Um, it's South Florida and it's still hot and rainy, so I'll be dealing with the weeds for a few more months. I needed to uncover this stepping stone. I keep this one here because I usually will set a pot in its place, and that just keeps the roots from going through the bottom of the pot. Switching to the trusty auger to get these holes dug quickly. Here you can see the auger shuffling around quite a bit. There are a few rocks in this hole. I'll show you one of them in just a bit. I need a little bit of background music, so I'm going to just put something on now and I will come in and let you guys know what's going on as I need to. I'm gonna put a dichondra and a lantana in this tall pot. It's a very narrow pot, so I'm not sure how well this is gonna work out. The lantana has pretty aggressive roots for such a small pot, but I'm gonna try it out and see what happens. Let's hope for the best. I haven't run drip to this pot just yet, but there is a drip line running through this bed all the way through to the end. So I will add a drip line. Right now I don't think it's really necessary. We are getting pretty regular rains, at least every day for I guess about 20-30 minutes. So it will saturate this pot daily. I'm going to use the Miracle Grow moisture control potting soil, so that should keep a little bit of retention in it. I'm just squeezing the lantana roots down so that I can squeeze it into this spot. It's very, very tight. Now I just need to do a little bit of weeding around here. The society garlic tends to hide a lot of the grass weeds, but if you look close, you can really tell where one plant stops and the other one begins. Not a whole lot to do here, just a little bit of tidying up. In this little corner, I'm going to tuck a salvia, and I'm going to try placing a miniature rose that I have neglected for quite some time. I don't think it's going to survive here, but what the heck. Moving on to the other side of the house. This is the west side, and I've just needed to get over here and do a little bit of cleanup. I had previously completely cleaned out this space and replanted it for the spring, and now it's just time to clean out some of these additional weeds that have come up through the summer. And I'm going to pop a couple of things in here as well. I needed to spend quite a bit of time taking new growth off of this viburnum. I'm tree forming it, so I have to come through quite often to make sure that the lower branches stay clean. Otherwise, it just turns right back into a bush. So let me take a little bit of time to tell you guys a secret. I am terrified of microphones. So the idea of me getting in front of a camera and talking to everybody to build a YouTube channel is absolutely crazy. Um, I decided that, you know what do I have to lose? I enjoy gardening. I'm out here all the time anyway, so I might as well record it, if for nothing else than to create a journal of my garden because I'm really bad at taking notes about my garden and what I've planted and what I've done. So this is just going to serve as that. And it's also me trying to conquer my fear of standing in front of people talking. Hold on, it's going to get a little bit scary. I thought I cut this part out before I started the voiceover. It's kind of difficult to weed between sedum because they're such a fragile plant. Every little piece that you touch breaks off. It will reroot if you put it back into the ground though. Just try to be careful when you're weeding around it. Every time I use this little rolling chair, I fall off of it. I can't remember if I fall off of it in this video, but if I do, have a laugh. Now I'm gonna go and get that one mum that was hanging out at the corner. It's the last one standing, so I'm gonna move it and let it have a new life. I'm digging pretty deep around it because I don't want it to realize that it's been moved, otherwise it'll end up shocked and it will probably die in our heat. Now that I've gotten this west bed pretty tidied up, I am going to shift my focus to a little bit of hedge trimming and I'm gonna finish cleaning up the viburnum. This took a little bit more time than I thought it was gonna take, so here goes.
No way.
I ended up trimming this hedge a little bit crooked. I'm not really worried too much about it because I'll need to do it again before Christmas. Because I do typically put some lights on this hedge. So I'll just leave it, let it grow back out, and I will trim it again sometime after Thanksgiving. I just have to remind myself that if I'm going to do any kind of hedge trimming, I need to do it before I start to overheat. I did almost faint twice while I was out here on this day, and it's all my fault. I mean, I was hydrating, but nowhere near as much as I needed to. I probably should have eaten some breakfast before I came out also. Do you see the slope? I see it really, really defined right here, and it just gets worse as I finish trimming it up. It's not the end of the world. The plant isn't scalped, so I feel okay about it. I do tend to cry when my plants get scalped. At this point, I'm pretty much done for the day. I am exhausted and I really need to eat. And there is a rainstorm on its way. So I'm going to finish this hedge up and I am going to get this mess raked up and get myself out of here. I really appreciate everybody taking the time to watch the videos and help to grow the channel. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, but until then, hope you guys have a great time and enjoy your gardening.